We are back. Welcome back to another episode video on the ONJ platform. I'm your co-host Jeremiah.
I'm your co-host, Orlando.
Hope everyone's having a good day, good night. Back from maybe a week hiatus. Uh, but we know we back to give y'all this content. Give y'all this um good, great, exceptional basketball content. Before we get too far ahead, don't forget to like. Wait, I don't know which way should I point that. Like,
Like,
comment, subscribe, subscribe,
you missed one. Share, subscribe,
share, post notific
post
post
notifications. Yeah.
post notifications. Yeah, all that good stuff. All right. Game of the day. Boston Celtics go to Cleveland to take on the Cavaliers where they win 109 to 98. As always, who's your player of the game?
I'm giving this man the player of the game just because he's the reason we watched this game, honestly. Um,
Dang, he's the reason.
he's the main reason we watched this game.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
If it wasn't this game, we were gonna watch what's the other game? I think the Lakers are playing right now. That's the other
Yeah,
option.
Lakers,
But
Knicks.
since we did not get to see his debut, this might be his second game. We got to see his second debut, his second game. Jason Tatum. Um, as much as I said here for the past basketball year, don't come back. He did not listen and he came back. Um,
Did not
he
listen. He
dropped
came back.
20 points. I
He
don't know how
did.
much he had. How much he had? Like 12, 15, something his first game. This game he
Yeah,
had 20,
I think he
27.
had what 15 and 12,
Yeah,
seven assists too.
15. I mean, 27 minutes he played this game.
Mhm.
Um, more very impressive. I didn't think he was going to play that many minutes. Okay, I think he was going to be on a stricter minutes restriction.
That's what I was telling my brother because I was like, he's a Celtics fan, so I'm like, because his explanation was maybe he wasn't he wasn't like and maybe like he wasn't being used as much, like his usage wasn't high. So maybe that could excuse the 27 minutes. I don't care. 27 minutes. 27 minutes is a lot of it's almost 30 minutes. Like that's a lot of minutes
There's
for somebody
there's
coming off of an Achilles.
two sides of the floor. If he's not getting used on the offensive end, the man still got to defend. I'm gonna be honest. There was some minutes when he was playing defense, and then he was getting tangled up, and I was like, "Oh my god, I'm a little scared right now. I'm a little scared."
No, like I was like, I seen that. I was like, whoa, 27 minutes. Like that's a lot. Like I mean, I know I understand he's ready. I mean, clearly he's ready. I mean, I'm sure the Celtics, I'm sure they do practice hard and stuff like that, but I mean, even like an Achilles injury, like that's first game back. You know what I mean? Like
And
that's a
what I
lot.
think
But
10 months was it 10 months?
yeah, I believe so. Yeah, a little over 10
Yeah,
months maybe. Yeah.
it's yeah. Most people take like a year or over a year. They
Hmm.
miss the whole entire season, and then they just come back next season. So
Yeah.
yeah,
So yeah, no, that's a great pick. I'm nothing wrong with that at all. I'm not gonna lie though. I'm gonna go with the Celtics bench. Uh I thought they provided some great minutes. Uh, specifically Payton Pritchard and Baylor, my bad, Baylor Schierman. Uh, Pritchard, pretty much a starter coming off the bench. 18.7 assists. Uh, Baylor Schierman, double double, an efficient double double. 16 points, 10 rebounds, 6 of 8 from the field. Pritchard was also efficient, 7 of 12 from the field. Uh, you just love to get that type of production from the bench, especially, I mean, 34 points off the bench between two players. You know what I mean? Like that's a lot of production, and I mean just to your two stars performed. You know, I mean you of course you may want Tatum to be a little bit more efficient, but he's I mean we just talked about it. He's coming back playing 27 minutes, uh, and but to get also some extra lift from your bench, it's much needed. Even with Derek White, having a off shooting night, as well. So definitely shout out to the whole bench and two specific players.
I'm gonna remember this for next time. I didn't know we could say a whole bench. So I'm gonna remember this for future
Get
games.
creative.
Yeah, I'm gonna remember this for
Shit,
future
you can
games.
say the water. You can say an assistant coach. Shoot, hey, Sam Cassell, player the you know
Player of the game is the coach.
player of the game is the coach.
Give it to the water boy, the towel boy.
The ref, hey ref, like ref, that was a good call, ref. Like there's so many ways you could go.
Hey, ref, good
Um,
job for blowing that whistle.
just I mean, just your thoughts though. I mean, just what are your thoughts on the game? What did you see? The cap? Was it the Cavs second quarter that just maybe
Awful,
that?
awful, awful. They just could not. They spent a good, I want to say a good 10 minutes without scoring. Maybe it was less. But I just kept looking at that score, and they were like at 28. And then I would leave and I would come back and it's still 28.
Still 28.
I could have left. I could have made lunch. I could have made dinner. I could have come back and it was still 28. Then
Yeah,
they
it
hit
was,
the free throw and it got to 29. Apparently that was like, okay, we got over the hump. Maybe we could score. I think they ended up with what, 35 at the end of the
mm-hmm.
quarter. Um
Uh,
yeah, they
yeah.
did.
I think it was 30, 36, 36, 36.
36.
So yeah,
But
close. Yeah,
they
yeah.
cannot score. And as I was watching the game, so they could barely score that quarter. Actually, they couldn't score, not barely. They just couldn't score. Third quarter, they could barely score. Fourth quarter, they started scoring, and it makes me think when you look at the Cavs. I know when we early in the season, we always made this joke where we thought in Donovan Mitchell's contract, there's a clause in there that says he needs to start scoring in the fourth quarter. He needs to get most of his
Mm,
points in the fourth quarter. Maybe that's a
mm.
clause on the whole entire Cavs team because it seems like the team doesn't try until the fourth quarter.
And maybe they're following their best player too. And I'm actually glad you brought that up. Cause I thought I noticed that too. I had yeah. So like around the 9, 8 minute range. I don't know if it was me. Okay, well you just pointed it out, so you saw it too. But like on the defensive end, right? And I'm not even talking offense. I just saw I saw a certain just burst of energy from Mitchell on the defensive end. It started for me, it started with he was pressing Jaylen Brown. And he got a good deflection and the ball went back court. Jaylen Brown tries to dribble it up, he passed it to Payton Pritchard. Pritchard's not able to get a shot off because of Mitchell's activity on the defensive end, right? And then I believe either the next possession back down on defense or the possession after that, Mitchell, I think Kata gets a pass to the dunker spot. Mitchell comes over and blocks him basically, right? And then the ball gets on the floor. Mitchell dives, Tyson dives. Tyson forces a jump ball with Kata. That's because of Mitchell. So I'm like, I'm like, where is this all? If he could like commit that type of energy a whole game, I mean, the fact that we can like bring that up is kind of bad in its own. But like, if he could like commit that type of energy on because I mean, he shows it. Like he showed it on those two possessions. He's capable. It's just like if he could keep that up, like I think that would kind of even if he like does that for a full season, I don't see why he wouldn't be top five player in the league. And I mean, yes, there is your chicks. There is, Giannis's, Anthony Edwards, Shea, like there's guys, but I feel like just I don't know. He shouldn't just. with seeing that type of defensive effort, it's like you want to see that. You would love to see that his whole time while he's out on the court.
and it's just not out the whole time. They like lag and don't play defense.
Yeah,
And then you get to that fourth quarter, and it's like
it's too late.
you've ever seen that meme where it's like the guy's playing 2K and he's laid back on the chair playing, and then it
Uh,
sees him like, oh, I'm gonna be serious, and then he gets straight up on the chair real close.
I want to see that now because that's low key how I be. I ain't gonna lie, that's how I be for real.
That's how
On
it
rec,
be. And
on rec.
that meme is literally the Cavs. It's
So,
like
all
they're
right,
like, oh, we're chilling, and then it gets to the fourth, and it's like, all right, we're kind of losing. Now we gotta get straight, and then they sit up on the chair.
that's that. All right, let me lock in.
Exactly. How about you
No,
lock in the first quarter, and you wouldn't be down by 26?
no, really, that's real. Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
Something
it,
else.
it's tough. Um, that. So yeah, I think that. Play of the game. I don't know if I've ever seen a pass. I don't ever know if I've seen a lob completed from that distance.
Yeah.
A three-quarter court chest pass into an alley hoop dunk from James Harden to Evan Mobley. Just your thoughts on that play, the beauty of it, the thought, the confidence to even first of all, just the thought to even throw that, the confidence to be able to throw that in the NBA game. Like just yeah, give me your thoughts on just what your instant reaction when you saw that play.
So first, when he threw the shot,
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking back when Kevin Love used to throw those shots to LeBron across half
Mm.
court. That's what I
Mm-hmm.
came. That's what thought to my mind.
Yeah.
And then I realized it turned into an alley hoop, and that was not what I was expecting. I was expecting he grabs it, quick little layup. I did not think it was gonna go straight into an alley hoop. That was the precision to get the ball right there for the alley hoop. It's one thing throwing the ball
Mm-hmm.
across the court. I think
Mm-hmm.
we've seen multiple players do that. Throwing it with the precision where the player's able to catch it for an alley hoop, I think is the most impressive thing from here.
Yeah. It was on the money. It was a great pass, especially from that type of distance. Um, yeah, I mean that was just a great overall play for sure. Uh, but yeah, I mean, yeah, I think and also I think maybe they were missing Jared Allen, you know. They were a little small at certain points. The game, like I even saw a lineup where it was Harden, Mitchell, Sam Merrill, Keon Ellis, and Mobley. Who's the power forward? Like who's the small forward? Like who do you like? That's straight guards, and you got to compete with Kada and you know Garza and Hauser, like, and you're playing four guards essentially. You know what I mean? So Kenny Atkinson definitely had to get creative in this game, especially not having Jared Allen for sure.
And here's something interesting that I was noticing throughout that game. Garrett
Mhm.
Allen's out. Evan Mobley, is the defensive player of the year type of player. Why was one? I don't think his intensity was there on the defensive end. I think that goes a
Mm,
lot with it. But I think the biggest thing is when they were playing him. I think if you take away Jared Allen, maybe you should kind of throw Evan Mobley more into that center spot. Give him more in the paint. What do I still felt like in a lot of possessions they were still playing him at that, like if he was the power forward. I think they were stretching out, and they were
oh, for
going
sure,
five out a lot. And I'm like,
for
why?
sure.
I think this would be the perfect opportunity to see what you have with Evan Mobley as a center. Um, to get some more versatility into this lineup, but you want to continue going to five out, especially when the Celtics have that interior presence right there.
Yeah,
You kind of want to mix it up, and I don't think they mixed it up, and I was kind of disappointed to not see that.
yeah. I think they definitely. I think maybe the reason for it, the whole five out thing, was probably just to get Kata out the paint, and just create some space just for just create some driving lanes, for the guards, like Harden and Mitchell. as well. But I mean, I wasn't too mad at it. But then again, I feel like I don't know. I feel like I may have bought. You could maybe let me know if I have bought this up a little while ago. But just one of the things that like could just be kind of this you may not like about a 5-out approach, especially with your center maybe playing on the perimeter a lot, is the lack of offensive rebounding. You know, like who's gonna crash the board? Like usually the center is probably usually the first the command in terms of patrolling the board. You know what I mean? So when that center's out on the 3-point line, like he took six threes, right? I believe. Yeah, he took six threes this game. So that's six possessions. And I'm sure there was probably more possessions where he was floating around. I'm sure there was probably more than six where he was just floating around on the 3-point line. But I mean, that's six possessions where he's just out on the 3-point line. You know what I mean? Because he shot threes. But I'm sure there was probably more than that. So maybe he had 10 or so. Who knows? But somebody could confirm. But I think that's kind of things you probably don't like, maybe with having your center on paid perimeter a lot. And I mean, he did have a solid game, 24 points. But I think he definitely could have got more work in the uh in the paint. But then again, though, right? And I don't think, and maybe he's not. I don't think he's a natural center though. I mean, and of course, and
I
I don't,
mean,
and but then again, I don't even know. And then to add on to him not being a natural center, I don't even know if he's like a center. Maybe you could, of course, like you wouldn't want to play him at center a whole season, right? But even like today, like you'll see him when he has easy opportunities at the like in the paint in terms of maybe an easy floater or an easy layup, like he'll miss those, right? And I think that's just because of his comfortability of playing on the perimeter and not being like always taking those shots. You know what I mean? So I think that could kind of hurt as well. You know what I mean? But I mean, I think we both know that he's not really a center, but
I mean,
um,
he's not a center because as soon as they brought him into the league, they kind of molded him into that power forward. So that's
yeah,
why that's the thing where I say I kind of didn't like the 5-out because I think there's an opportunity to develop him with that center skill set that they
okay,
haven't really developed for him.
okay,
Um, so that was one point of that, and then the second point was kind of what you were saying. They didn't have any offensive rebounding there. Where if you know in that second quarter, none of your shots were going in, maybe it'd be a good adjustment to throw a bigger body down there to try to catch some of those rebounds. If you weren't making any shots,
okay.
so
No,
I think those were the two things.
no, hold that point though, because you actually brought up a good point in terms of him being the center. Like, so, okay, that's perfect actually. So Jared Allen has been with the team 6 years. I believe Evan Mobley's been with his whole career. He's played with Jared Allen.
Yep.
So that kind of goes to your point, right? Um, is it too late, right? Because this has kind of been his position in terms of Evan Mobley. This has kind of been his position for 5 seasons now. So that's pretty much 5 years, right? That's 5 years of habits, like 5 years, like this is your role. You know what I mean? Like five NBA seasons. You know what I mean? Like that's a long time, and that's kind of like like that could kind of be a habit. Like, do you think it's too late for him to step into that role? Like, like not like no, not step into it, but develop that type of like what you're talking about.
I never think it's too late for a player to develop certain skill sets because we've seen it. James Harden went from a score first individual shooting guard that now he's passing the ball like a prime point guard. We saw Brooke Lopez be a back to the basket center with the Nets to shooting threes with the Bucks, which extended his career further. So I
Talk
think
about it.
the NBA is this type of game where you have to adapt because it's gonna keep continually changing. So if you come to the league playing a
Mm,
certain style, eventually as you get older, you're gonna have to change that play style to extend your career further.
hmm
And I think this is an example. Imagine because he could extend his career if he once he gets older, he already has the 3-point shot. He could kind of do that little Brook Lopez. He could play that Brook Lopez role on a lot of teams, and I think that's a lot of teams are looking for that stretch out big that could stretch out but also play good defense. So
hmm
he has to kind of develop that, and he kind of develop some of those roles. Maybe he'll be worth those $52 million that he's getting.
Oh man, no, that's a good point. Um, yeah, I'm curious. I'm curious to see what that looks like. Because I mean, you see players develop, kind of develop like you said with Brook Lopez. I'm sure there's been other players too. I just got to probably think about Demontis Sabonis. I'm sure he's one. Um, like you've seen players that were primarily interior guys, but then they add that perimeter game to kind of, you know what I mean? Also, I mean, to make it easier on their body, Vucevic. I feel like Vucevic early years, I mean, he did a lot of his work in the paint, in the post, like I believe, right? Like
Yeah,
so guys like that, you know what I mean? Like those are three centers right there. So you see, and I think and what I was gonna say, like you see guys develop the outside, I mean the inside to outside game. But you don't really I don't think I've seen too much of guys doing the outside to inside game. You know what I mean? Like so I don't know if like I'm curious to see if he'll like be able to do that. Cause I mean I'm sure I mean of course he's talented enough. And maybe that comes with more weight. Like you know what I mean? And then maybe also, with him playing with Jared Allen, right? Who's like a legit center, like who's an actual center, right? A true center. Maybe him playing with Jared Allen, maybe he doesn't have to put on that weight, right? You know what I mean? To like kind of to like be with those centers just because you have a Jared Allen with you right now that's doing that position. But when he's not there, like what does it look like? You know?
you're getting a little too comfortable with having Jared Allen there, honestly.
That might be it. That could be it. You know? But yeah, I mean, it was tough. It was a tough game for them. Yeah, I think that second quarter for the Cavs really didn't really help them too much. And Boston, they run some beautiful sets. I mean, seems like they just kind of. I mean, it seems like Coach Mazzulla and the coaching staff, they just kind of just know what they have. You know what I mean? Like they know what they have and they know how to use them. And one play I love one play kind of attested to their chemistry and their play style and them buying in was I remember I think Jason Tatum was getting fronted, so he was posting up Sam Merrill. Um and yeah, he was posting up Sam Merrill. Sam Merrill got in front of him, making it hard for Derek White to, throw the pass in, right? So what Derek White did was I think Kata ended up moving up to the elbow. Derek White skips the ball to Kata. At first Tatum has Merrill in front of him, but with Derek White IQ to pass the ball to Kata, Tatum ends up being able to seal Merrill, and I mean it's an easy layup because Merrill was already in front of him. So it's like stuff like that, like, but though I was just more so impressed with how quick like Derek White noticed that. Like that was like he thought quick on the floor. Like that's the quickest way. That was the only way Tatum was gonna get the ball. Not by me trying to force a lob pass in there. But let me throw it. It's like what's they call it? Hockey assist or something like a hockey assist. Like let me get it to Kata and then Kata will be able to feed Tatum, easier because Kata has a better angle than I do. Like so like plays like that and just like the misdirections that they do, I mean, they run some nasty stuff. Like I mean, not nasty in a good way. Like they run some nasty sets, and they all seem to be locked in. Like it's not to like you've got your team and I mean and this is without Vucevic, so they're gonna be without Vucevic for a couple weeks as well. So to still get this win without Vucevic, and I mean, also the Cavs were missing Jared Allen, but I mean, you're missing, Vucevic as well, so and you still get the win. So definitely shout out to them for sure.
Yeah, the Celtics, one great defense. They play
Yeah,
some amazing defense.
they
But also,
do.
I think the Celtics are just such a high IQ team.
It's like, I wonder.
And and then it kind of gets me thinking, this season the Celtics are a completely different team. They had to completely rebuild um,
Mhm.
from that championship team, from that whole entire team that they had last season. So it kind of makes me think when Brad Stevens was out there trying to get players, what was his mindset to try to get players? Was he drafting play was he not drafting, I guess, well, drafting and signing players based on his potential that he saw, or was he signing them because he knew they were high IQ players? Or did that
Mm,
high IQ come from the Celtics developing them to be high IQ players?
mm.
Which is
I
kind of
mean,
something that I thought about because Derek White obviously has a high IQ, but then when you
very
bring
high.
those other players, it takes that play that you just mentioned, right? Kata has to have a high IQ in order to make that extra pass.
Hmm.
So how do you kind of develop the whole team to have that high IQ? Was it on the coach? Did you sign people who you believed had IQ? I think it's an interesting thing to think about when you
Yeah.
see how the Celtics perform because it's a whole new team. It's not like they've had these people to develop for a while. Most of them, this is their first season with the Celtics.
Hmm. No, I think that's definitely coaching. I mean, because for them to for them to know, especially knowing how each other plays, like they knew. Feel like I feel like they were like coached to be in those type of positions. I feel like they were prepared. I mean, that's well prepared too. Also, not only from the players, but for the coaching staff as well to put them in those positions. You know what I mean? Like I think it's on the coaching really. Like you're putting your players in the best position possible to succeed, and they're buying into it. You know what I mean? You could tell by how they play. The unselfishness that they play with. It's working. Like it's working really.
I,
What
I,
do you think it is? Do you think it's development? Because I mean, but then again, like Pritchard's been with the team for a little while. Um, but yeah, I don't know. Maybe it is high IQ though. I think it may be like just getting high IQ players. Not to say they don't develop their players, but I feel like
but I think they
maybe that
have to have a certain level of high IQ, and
before
then
they get there.
before they get there, and then the Celtics
Hmm.
just increase it to a certain
Exactly.
to a certain extent.
Which is
Um,
which is what you want.
yeah, I'd be very interested to imagine just sitting down at one of those film sessions that they have to
Hmm.
see what coach really tells them. I think that'd be very interesting,
No, that
especially
would.
knowing his personality. That'd be interesting.
Because you could you kind of. I mean, you don't even get he barely gives you like a glimpse of his personality. But you could probably see with how he treats the media and everything. Like I wonder, it makes you just wonder what he is as a coach, like how he treats players. Not to say he would treat them in a bad way, but I'm sure it is an interesting interaction for sure.
Yeah, they gotta understand something each other somehow.
No, for
With
sure.
that little thing, he was like, I don't know what Jalen Brown said. We kind of pass each other, mumble, and we keep walking. He did that interview.
Hey, what if that's true though? What if that is true?
What?
What-
What? You think they made their own language mumbling? Okay, coach wants us to play number 73 on the play.
All right, see you at practice. Like, who knows? No, I mean, but Jalen Brown, he also had a great game too. 21, 9, and 8. I mean, 23, 9, and 8. And also, and I like how he plays them too, right? And I'm wondering if this is going to be I mean, well, Tatum's pretty much at at his full minute count. So at this point, I mean, this is probably going to be how they're going to play. But I'm wondering because at like the first, right? Because I don't remember if this. I don't know if this was a rumor or if this was something Jaylen Brown actually said, or this was something Tatum actually said. When I don't know if you've seen the report, like Tatum knows, like I'm coming into like like Jaylen Brown's team, like you know what I mean, like I'm just coming in to help, you know what I mean. So I was kind of worried, and it had me thinking because like the first half, like the first quarter, like Tatum's usage was very high. You know what I mean? Like he had the ball in his hands. Like Jaylen Brown was barely. I saw Jaylen Brown barely touch the ball, right? But but then again, and I wonder if this. I'm sure it's probably on purpose, but like, but how he does their lineups, right? Like Tatum gets to sit, and then now this is Brown's time to kind of, you know, what I mean, kind of, continue the great season that he's been having, and take on more of the offensive load, So I think that balance is very, very good, especially with, and then also with the support and role talent that they have on the roster. Like you said, the high IQ players that they have. I think it just works. You know what I mean? And then also being able to rest Tatum, coming off his injury, right? And and uh and you still have Jaylen Brown to lead the squad, so they've got something for sure.
Oh yeah, they and that's interesting because I also saw that quote and I never looked too much into it to see if it was
Yeah,
like an actual one. I kind of just brushed it off. I'm like, it's probably something some Twitter account said or something. So maybe we should go back and see if that was an actual statement because it'd be interesting because that is one of the big concerns when he came back that Brown is doing so good. You want to make sure that you kind of continue that trajectory going forward instead of just Tatum coming back and kind of move back to being Tatum's team.
that's what I was kind of worried about. Like, just yeah, like he's having such a great season. Like, I don't want that momentum to be gone.
Yeah, correct.
Oh, wait, hold on. I'm trying to plug up my charger.
Uh oh.
Technical difficulties.
Uh oh.
I ain't trying to lose this great episode.
Uh oh. Uh oh. I mean, shout out to the Celtics. I think they played a great game. Um, obviously leading by 26. It's very impressive.
No, very, very, very impressive. Yeah, I mean, of course, and and I don't know though. I mean, just to like add, just for conversation purposes, like I just like you really, of course, like you said, leading by what you said, what's 26? It was like
26. I think it
yeah,
was.
26. Yeah, yeah. So like leading by 26, you're never really winning. You're never really like fully in control of the game when you have like two microwave scores on the other side of the floor. You know what I mean? But also, just to pose the question though, do you think with do you think James Harden and Donovan Mitchell know that they are microwave scorers?
Do I think they know their microwave scores?
Like, do you think that they know that they could heat up quick, which may result in the slow starts? You know what I mean? Like like you may come out sluggish, but then it's like, okay, let me turn it on, but then it's too late. You know what I mean? Because, like you said, like you'll see the Cavs and they'll like bring it on like third, fourth quarter. Like, you know what I mean? Like they'll start to play. You know what I mean? But it's too late, right? Like the damage has already been done. So it's like, do you think they know that? And maybe that could lead to the slow starts, or is it something else?
Well, I believe they're. It's a very interesting question.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm just trying
I
to get
think
into the. I mean, of course, only they have the answers, but
I
what
think
do you
in a
think?
sense, I think in a sense they do know, and
Hmm.
I think in the sense I feel like they save their energy maybe for the fourth. Maybe they know that they need
Oh,
enough energy to be that type of scorer, and they save it for the fourth.
oh, okay, that's different. Okay,
That's the only thing I could think of why they would not care the first few quarters and then go crazy the
yeah,
fourth.
yeah,
Um,
yeah. I mean, and I don't want to say not care, but like. Well, I don't know. Is it not care? I mean, because
Okay,
well,
we'll call
yes,
it
that's a
being
good.
more
Hold
conservative in the first few
on. Ooh, I
quarters.
like. Yeah, I like that. I like that. More conservative. Yeah, like more conservative. Yeah. Now, if you do make them more conservative, I mean, make them more well opposite. So like more aggressive in those early quarters. Would they burn out, or is that on them, or is that on them if they burn out?
Honestly, if they're gonna be conservative, the first because I get it, they're clutch scores.
They are.
I kind of get that. So if they're gonna be conservative, at this point, you got to make sure the other people on your team are either hitting their shots or you're setting them up to hit their shots.
Oh,
I don't think sometimes they do that necessarily.
that's fair. That's fair. No, that's a good point. That's a great point. Yeah, so I'm curious to see how they figure that out. I think the Cavs are still in pretty good standing, I believe. Check the standings. They are still top four. They're fourth seed, so top four. In the East, so they're still looking good for the playoffs. They're probably gonna be a playoff team.
Wait,
Um,
who's above them? Who am I missing? There's Pistons,
yeah.
Celtics. Who's the fourth one? The third one.
Knicks,
Next,
Knicks.
next.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, they're about like 4 games behind the Knicks. So I mean that's so
Interesting.
so they may, but then Toronto's right behind them. So yeah, I mean it's gonna be interesting in the East. It's
Get
definitely
together. That window's closing, like we said the last episode. That window's gonna close pretty soon.
yeah.
And then big contracts.
No, for sure. Especially when I mean, I'm excited. I'm excited to kind of see like what Mitchell signs for. Like like 70. Because I'm sure he would be due like for 70 mil probably, like easily. Like what I mean. So that's gonna be interesting, and even how they do James Harden. Like I wonder how that's gonna go too as well. So